No mai haere mai, welcome into Saturday afternoon hoops here on Sky Sport. The NZNBL round 13 rolls on, and this afternoon we are in Tauranga, Queen Elizabeth Youth Centre to be precise, as the Tauranga Whai get ready to take on the Auckland Tuatara. Kia ora, Hugh Bain here alongside Crystal Ledger-Walker. Very good afternoon to you, Crystal.
Good afternoon, Hugh. Happy to be here. Excited for this matchup.
It's certainly going to be an interesting one, and as I saw, I think it described in the previews, Tauranga are going to be in survival mode today, as we'll get to when we get to the NZNBL game in an hour's time. But first, we will have the Rapid League, as we see some of the young Whai players getting ready. And here is the tale of the tape so far in the 2026 Rapid League. Tuatara out on top, 12-3 with their impressive young lineup, but the Whai not far behind, 11-4. So in preview-wise, this game set to be a lot closer on paper than the NZNBL game a little bit later on, potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. These Rapid League squads go hard. Their experience in their top three for a reason. You know, last year the Whai, they finished sixth, and that point percentage really came into play. So the Whai, although some of those players have moved up into the NZNBL starting lineup, they know how important this is, and we're getting to that business time of the year.
Wiley, Wilkie, Lepo, Dalton, that's Matthew Dalton, and Josh Ledger starting for the Auckland Tuatara in the Rapid League game. A host of Tall Blacks away for the Tauranga Whai, which means guys like Xander Masters have been promoted to the starting lineup. So Jet Thompson will be the pivotal man in their Rapid League lineup, as per usual, alongside Wade Flavel, Geordie Hoiata, excuse me, and Josh Kelly. So some players, Crystal, there who haven't seen a lot of ball in recent weeks.
Yeah, one player I'm especially looking forward to seeing is Geordie Hoiata. The matchup inside him versus Josh Ledger and Matty Dalton, interested to see how he goes holding it down in the paint. But let's have a look at this Chemist Warehouse head-to-head. Do you want to talk about some of these stats, Hugh?
Yeah, well, I want to talk about that matchup first of all. Jet Thompson, who has been pivotal in pretty much everything this Rapid League side has done the last couple of years, going up against Josh Wiley for the Tuatara, and that we talked about two of the top three teams. We're going to see it all out there, 37 points to 39. The Whai's defense has been better in recent weeks as well, but they've got some new guys in there as well. We see big Geordie Hoiata in number 5 on the right. He hasn't played a lot of basketball in recent weeks. He'll be chomping at the bit to get out there, and he's about to, as we're going to get underway. Reese Hamilton, Danielle Cooge, Olivia Murray on the whistle. There's big Geordie Hoiata, younger brother of former All Black Jared Hoiata. Back home in Tauranga, having spent a lot down in Taranaki in recent years with the Airs. And we're underway, and it's Jet Thompson who gets the first ball, but blows the bunny to start the game.
He was shocked that they let him right to the hoop. But good look for the Whai to start.
Josh Ledger puts the ball on the floor, drops it straight back. Good ball movement from the Tuatara in their grey uniforms. First three ball goes up and goes down. That's Wilkie with the first points of the game.
Dylan Wilkie, one of the best scorers for the Tuatara this season. Makes a tough bucket to open this one.
Averaging just a tick under 10 points in the Rapid League game as Thompson curls, gets 2 feet in the paint. Finds Hoiata, puts up the 3. Rebounded by Josh Ledger, but it's gone out of bounds, and it will still remain Tuatara possession.
See Josh Kelly there just sticking with it, putting that pressure on, trying to get the possession back for his squad. Look at this full court pressure by the Whai. A few of these players, like you mentioned, have been sitting out for a while. A lot of energy coming in and applying it straight away.
Well, Matt Lacey is going to want this Rapid League side to really set the standard this afternoon. If the Whai are going to get anything out of this afternoon, as we see the drive, good defense there, Hoiata helping with the rebound. Because this Whai team in the NBL game, Crystal, they're missing Tauranga, they're missing Nata, they're missing Tane Murray, they're missing Nick Stoddard, they're missing over 70 points, basically. And they're going to have to really put up an underdog's performance, so they'll want this Whai Rapid League team to set the standard going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of opportunity on court for the Whai. And look at that beautiful feed in for the Tuatara. Josh Ledger puts it down. coming off one of his better games. He had 15 points, season best versus the Giants just last round.
Rolls, and there's a beautiful find from Josh Wiley to his namesake. Josh Ledger averaging 8.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, over 2 assists a game, so doing a bit of everything for the Auckland team. Offensive rebound. Dalton gets it, and they capitalise on it through Cooper Lepo.
We've spoken about a few of those 5 players that are out, but today for the Tuatara, Casey Ioane is out with a back injury. Cooper Lepo, we haven't seen him much, but we know he can shoot and knock it down like that.
Kelly hands it off. Thompson showing his strength, but leaving the layup a little bit short. Leisure slings it forward. Wilkie driving up with his left. Can't get it to go. CJ Flavel, his distinctive hair, brings down the rebound. It's great to see some of these youngsters who've been staples of secondary school nationals and sort of regional nationals for the last few years, starting to pop up when the Rapid League opportunity presents itself. So we see Josh Kelly, an M1 opportunity.
Yeah, and a lot of these players that are getting in this mix, getting their opportunities here, they're also stepping up on the global stage. A few of them committing recently to a lot of colleges in the States. There you see CJ Flavel with the nice drop off. Josh Kelly, good patience, and draws the foul out of the defense. But back to some of these players that have committed to schools over in the States. CJ Flavel is committed to Winston-Salem Christian. Congratulations to him. And also someone that we don't see out on court, but from Te Aroha and Aquinas, Kaimani Komoana, are committed to the Central Community College. So, you know, those are also good signs for franchises and their local players.
A couple of guys have been through the Alex Stojkovic School of Development. Awesome adventure awaits them.
And while I'm on it, may as well shout out Michael Wade as well, bringing the ball up. He's committed to the NAIA University of Mobile. So a lot of talent heading
Alabama.
stateside.
Slavel's 3 ball is a little bit off. Kelly trying to get the long board. He misses out, and there's the two-handed jam. Dalton with it.
Big smiles on the run out and the flush. Michael Wade down the lane.
Flavel will go again. That one's too strong. Nice rebound from Ledger. Sticks the paw out, brings it in. All the way. Slings out a beautiful pass to Lepo. Hoiata with the rebound.
Little heat check for Lepo. Hit one from that corner earlier.
Flynn wraps in. Hands it off to Kelly. Gets it right back. Hoiata with the screen. Out of bounds it goes, and it will remain 5 possession. Might have got away with one off the boot there, but take it when you can, young man. There's Wade, good defense there. Is that Riley? Flavel. That one off to the left. A few looks now from outside, CJ Flavel. We won't deter him shooting going forward. Under 20 seconds to go in this first quarter. A 4-point lead for the visitors from Tamaki Makaurau. So Riley's going to take his time, go around the Ledger screen, drop it back to Wilkie. 3 ball. Doesn't go. Hoiata comes down with it, hands it off. Wade puts up the specky from half court, almost gets the bank. But the first quarter is done in Tauranga, and it is a 9-5 lead to the Tuatara.
Great start by the Tuatara, and right now we're just seeing that experience, their connectiveness together on the court. Zach Riley had the smarts just to hold for that last play, take that last shot, and get himself going into this timeout with the fire kind of halted in that momentum. So good start for the Tuatara so far.
Just settling in for an afternoon and evening of sport. Make sure you get yourself a Sal's Pizza Large. 5 Boroughs Pizza is the deal in round 13 for $35. Scan the QR code or use the online code SALSPLASH26. It'll get you through round 13. Whether you're going all basketball all evening or using the basketball as a starting entree to the All Blacks a little bit later. It's all here on Sky Sport. Big body, Geordie Hoiata. What do you make of the, let's talk uniforms. You know I love to talk uniforms, Crystal. What do you make of the Harbour Bridge action on the Tuatara rapidly?
I like that. I like the slight details, like the Hawks, how they have the feathers in the back. And in the Whai, you can't ever go past them. I know, you know, the pink.
It's beautiful. Two of my favourites I think we're seeing right here. And the little trim, don't let the trim on the Tuatara one go unnoticed as well. That teal of theirs. We're back underway. Legend looking to orchestrate proceedings, sees a bit of daylight. Hoiata though in the passing lane, great steal.
That has been one thing the Whai doing really well, is packing that paint.
Wade up with the left, cops a bit of contact, will go to the line to shoot two. If you're done scanning your SOUS QR code, why not scan another? And that's if you're interested in getting hoops at your school, or your children's school, or your nephew and niece's school. Find out more by scanning that QR code. Thanks to Chemist Warehouse. Basketball New Zealand Hoops in Schools. Wade makes the second.
Yeah, get out, shoot some free throws, get some games of knockout going.
Bit of horse as well.
All right, all of the above. Don't have much time, Pig.
Yep, nice. 3-ball up, doesn't go. Another rebound for Hoiata. Another 3 for him already. Here's on the offensive end, hands it off to Wade. 2 feet in the paint, nice work. Gives it back to Hoiata, a bit of contact there, and Geordie Hoiata will go to the line to shoot 2.
Really like that pass from Michael Wade. As soon as Geordie Hoiata got behind the line of the defense, that ball was gone, and he had the right angle to draw that foul out of Matty Dalton.
Hoiata at the line. This one doesn't go.
Tuatara must have some fans travelling, because surely that's not a Whai fan putting him off.
Good weekend trip if you're a Tuatara fan down to Tauranga. Great city.
And it's been good weather lately.
Who has been impressive in both forms of the game so far this season. Puts up a 3-ball, rattles around and drops in for him.
Zach Riley did a good job of setting up that on-ball screen, took the defender down, so he came off with enough space to line that 3-ball up.
Averaging just 5 and 2 in the rapidly, but is a leading scorer for the Tuatara in the NZNBL. As Hoiata again will make his way to the free throw line.
Hoiata is feasting out of this pick and roll on the clear side right now. Whai guards are doing a good job of feeding him, leading him to the basket. Have a look at that pocket pass. And Hoiata drawing it out of the Tuatara.
There's one just loud Tuatara fan put it off the free throws. I'm here for it. That's good.
Be the best sixth man you can be.
Josh Kelly hits the floor. And that's with Josh Ledger off the ball. He's a big, strong boy. As a nice finish.
How about that assist from Riley? Threads the needle through the traffic.
Dalton it was with the finish. Thompson around the Kelly screen. Switches to his right hand and then back to his left. Kelly with the offensive board. Ledger with the defense and the rebound. Dalton, quick first step round Kelly onto his left. Foul called and go to the line.
Matty Dalton feeling good right now, showing his versatility, able to put the ball on the floor from outside the 3. Have another look at it. That little fake to his left, go down to the right, finish opposite side of the rim and one. Now the Daltons feel good in this gym. Taylor Dalton played for the Tauranga Whai team, brought them a championship. Maddie Dalton showing out in the same gym today.
Wraps in for three off the dribble handoff from Kelly. And they trim the deficit slightly. 5-point lead for the Tuatara, under 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Now we haven't seen Rapson suit up much this season, but we know he can load it up. Has a rapid high of 12 points.
Major down low with the mismatch. Fires it into the corner. Skipping through and finishing. That's lovely from Cooper Lepo.
Quick burst from Cooper Lepo. To me, Lepo just has that great mix of like hunger and confidence. Have another look at it. Good kick out and a quick rip on the rim. Floats it up just above the shot blocker down low.
Josh Wiley takes a break for the Tuatara. Wilkie back into the game, finds Ledger. Here's Riley around a big Ledger screen. Pulls up from the elbow, off to the right. Good offensive box out and rebound. Dalton goes up again and he gets the two.
Oh yeah, he's feeling good right now.
9 points. Matt Dalton. Wade goes the other way. Turnover, no whistle. Foul called on the floor.
Yeah, Dalton almost got that pick as well. The blocking foul will go on Wilkie. But Maddie Dalton committed to Concordia University, Irvine in California, where his older brother went to school. Have another look at this post work down low. Window cleaning off the glass.
Wade can't get the first to go. Splits his free throws. Under a minute to go in this first half. On paper, there's a tough afternoon ahead for the Tauranga Whai. Sport doesn't play it on paper, and I'm sure Matt Lacey and crew have a plan how they are going to take on the ladder leading Tuatara without Ruben Tarangi, Jordan Ngatai, Tane Murray, Nick Stoddart. Toyata is swamped down low, fires it over to Flabber, who finds Wade. Toyata down there trying to force an offensive board. And between him and Kelly, they've kept the ball for the fight.
You're right, the fight, you know, it will be a challenge for them today without some of their key players. But we were talking about it a little bit off air. Some teams, especially when they have a strong culture, you know, that adversity, it can be, you know, the motivation that they need to get themselves going. And I'm a big believer, anybody can win any game on the day. CJ Flavel, long on his three.
Plenty of stories from around the history of the NBL of how legends began their careers in similar circumstances. Shot clock, and game clock, I should say, winding down. The Tuatara putting up the one-handed floater from beyond the arc. Josh Wiley finishes the first half with a three ball.
What a shot by Wiley, and it was his first points of the game. Great lead pass by Lepo. Better awareness from Wiley to get it up in time.
And that is half-time in Tauranga. The Tuatara stretching their lead out. They won that half 17 to that quarter 17 to 8, and they lead 26 to 13. Way back to, oh, let's have a look at the Chemist Warehouse stats first, Crystal. You see Dalton, as you mentioned, having a day already in the first half in the gym.
Yeah.
Lepo chipping in as well.
Lepo has been great, 75% from the field. Dalton even better, 80% from the field. leading the way, scoring. Look at Dalton also cleaning the glass, 4 boards to his name. And then for the Whai, Jordi Hoiata doing a good job inside. 5 rebounds total, but 2 of those offensive. Just shows the effort and the energy he's brought into this game. And we see him there on the steals category as well. It was really that second quarter that Auckland Tuatara just extending their lead, that 17-8 finish. Feeling very comfortable if you're wearing grey or supporting that side today. One of the big reasons I think we see both of these teams in that top 3 of this Rapid League standings is the experienced guards, their decision-making, their smarts to know when to push the pace, when to pull it out, get through a set, when to feed their bigs. And you can see that especially playing out today with Zach Riley and Josh Wiley. Wow, is that a tongue twister a little bit for me?
Riley and Wiley.
Yeah, but between them two, you know, being able to switch out of that point guard position, floor general role, they're in pretty good hands.
Jet Thompson back into it. Kelly with the screen. Drops it back to Josh Kelly, puts up the 3, had plenty of time and makes the most of it.
Yes.
They were just 1 for 8 before that one from beyond the arc of fight, so a welcome bucket.
And speaking of floor general, Jet Thompson with that great patient assist, able to draw 2 and find the open man.
Dalton off a 9-point first half. Brings it off to Riley. He finds Wiley. Inside to Dalton, going to work on Wade. Thompson making a nuisance of himself. Ledger with the offensive board, and they don't really have a right to it, but he gave him a second chance and 2 points.
And that's frustrating if you're the Whai. Really good defense for most of that shot clock and then just giving up that O board at the end.
Thompson, great find for Kelly. Gets Ledger to bite and then earns a trip to the line to shoot 2. Second foul on Josh Ledger. Your cousin, of course.
Yes.
Crystal.
One of them, and he's actually in his 50th match today, so congratulations to him, and how fitting that his brother Will Ledger for the Sharks also is ringing up 50 games in this round 13.
That's pretty special. You guys get to hoop against each other much growing up?
You know, actually no. They used to play a lot of different sports growing up. But our family is very competitive. We can't even sit down for a game in its categories.
So whenever the cousins came around, it was just stay away from that.
Yeah, you've got to get the teams right, you know, mix up the ones that like to argue, all the things that I'm sure a lot of these sporting families listening can relate to.
It's a 3-point game. There is Josh Ledger. Hands it off, gets the screen, great find, but then ripped away, out of bounds though. Tuatara possession.
Whai really trying to apply some half-court pressure, showing to it the ball, forcing them to move it, giving them a chance to try pick off some intercepts.
Dalton, 6 on the shot clock, back to Ledger, 3-ball up and down for Josh Ledger.
Okay, shooter can do it all, big grin on his face.
Thompson probing, turning, firing, rattles and drops in. Nice mid-range fade away for Jet Thompson.
And that is why he is 3rd all-time in Rapid League scoring. Jet Thompson with the beautiful footwork.
Riley, a 2-man play with Ledger, fires it over. Lepeau, rangy step back, high arcing 3. Wraps and pulls it in.
Cooper Lepeau short on that one, but let's take a flashback look.
Oh, Rapson drains another 3 from the wing.
We know he's a shooter, but going back to Lepo, remember he scored 21 versus the Tuatara when he played for the Indian Panthers. Can absolutely get hot.
Josh Kelly takes the seat. Jordi Hoiata back into the game.
Both,
5 rebounds in the first half.
Both of these squads only running 6 in this Rapid League matchup.
Riley stepping in with his left, and that is a wily move from Zach Riley.
And good cut by Dalton just to free up that space, take his defender away, making room for Riley to get on the rim.
Thompson with a fake handoff all the way to the hoop and the finish too.
Good job turning the corner and finishing with that inside hand, avoiding the shot blocker.
Ledger inside to Dalton. Yeah, why not? Yeah, Dalton having a game up to 11 now.
And the smarts not to use his dribble, goes straight up. Could hear the 5 bench counting down 3 seconds.
Thompson drops it off. Hoiata going through Ledger and earning a trip to the line. Third foul on Josh Ledger. 44 seconds to go in this third quarter.
Hoiata 3 from 4 at the free throw line today. And there's that QR code again. Get hoops at your school, thanks to Chemist Warehouse. Already mentioned it. Get out and shoot some free throws of your own. See if you can match some of these guys' percentages. With that one, Hoiata 4 from 5.
Makes them both. From Rapson. He's making his presence known. Using the Tuatara to go from the sideline. That one a little too aggressive. Wiley, Rapson sticking to him. Ledger drops it off to a slashing Dalton. And can't get the finish. Flavel brings the ball down.
Great weak side cut.
Riley, I should say it was.
A great weak side cut by Riley. Defender turned his head straight down the lane. Thompson slowing for the last shot.
Uses the Hoiata screen, and we'll use another one. Rejects it this time. Drives at Ledger and finishes under the big man. So 3 quarters in the books in Tauranga. And it is a 35-28 lead to the Whai. So we see the last play of the game. Chet Thompson, just points 5 and 6 for him. So Matt Lacey probably saying, let's see a little bit more of that, shall we, in the fourth quarter. They trail by 7.
Yeah, he's one of those players that you're going to want to get warm, especially going into the Sal's NBL game. We've already spoken about all the Tall Blacks out for the Whai. They'll need some people to step up and take over offensively in their next matchup. But also great decision by Jet Thompson to reject that screen, go at the big, make the most of his mismatch. They'll need a lot more of that in this last quarter to try chase this Tuatara lead.
If you are just joining us for the Sal's NBL game at 4 o'clock, there will be no Tane Murray, no Ruben Tarangi, no Jordan Ngatai, and no Nick Stoddart for the fight. Murray, Tarangi, Ngatai, all part of that incredible Tall Blacks performance last night against the Philippines. 106, 102, double overtime victory.
What a thriller that was. And definitely got what you paid for if you're at the game. Double overtime, what a treat.
Yeah, Spark Arena, great to see Spark Arena pumping the Tall Blacks basketball again. The Philippines fans always bring so much. And the Tall Blacks qualifying for the next round. World Cup qualifiers. This afternoon it's all about the fight, trying to qualify for the playoffs, as that one is called a foul. Tuatara already cemented their spot, setting the standard all season, along with the Southland Sharks.
Yeah, some really deep squads. Wow, bully ball to the hoop. Can't get it to go. Tuatara looking to push the pace.
Ledger putting the ball on the floor. There's Wilkie. 3 ball, left it short. Hoiata comes down with it eventually. 3 minutes to go in this one. Can the fight claw their way back in? CJ Flavel keeps his feet and finishes nicely.
Great patience to stop on that second step. Let the defender fly by and rise for the easy jumper.
Dalton fires it back to Wiley. Ledger with the screen. Back to Dalton. Quick fire out to Wilkie. Good defense from Wade. Forces him wide. And there is a foul called eventually at the end of a good defensive set.
But once again, that weak side cut coming in. That time they didn't get the ball, but Dalton, great rebound positioning. Just forced the Whai to make a play and end up fouling.
Ledger. Fires it over to Dalton, a 3 ball this time. A little strong. Jet Thompson with the board. Come back into the game for CJ Flavel. We'll see a little less of Thompson in this Rapid League game, and I think that's because we're going to see a little more of him in the NZNBL game a little bit later, Crystal.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only does he deliver great passes like that and bring a lot offensively, but he also takes the brunt on the defensive end, often picking up the ball handler full court, doing that dirty work, making those beautiful pocket passes like you just saw on your screen there.
Jordi Hoiata at the line again. Solid game so far. That's 6 points and 6 rebounds.
Jordi Hoiata will be one that needs to stay ready as well. This Tuatara squad is so scary because of the height they have inside, the experience, and also just their smarts.
Yeah, the two-headed monster that is Chris Johnson and big Bobby Lowe. All the way for Zach Riley, and the finish too. Just keeping them at arm's length. Five-point game though, under 2 minutes to go. Anything can happen in this one. Kelly takes the contact from Ledger, who does well. So a stop for the Tuatara. Dalton, big rangy step in. He leaves it off the back iron too. There's Ledger forcing another possession. Wilkie 3. Another O board. This time Dalton.
Definitely something the Whai want to clean up is that boxing out, getting a body on those bigs.
Oh, driving left alone. Wilkie Hoiata has to go over and commit the foul.
Don't tell me. That was 5 team fouls, right?
Yeah, just a second personal foul on Jordi. Wilkie gets the friendly roll.
Wilkie sitting 6 all-time on Rapid League points scored. Coming into this one, he had 309. One of the best for the Tuatara.
Thompson shrugs off Dalton, turnaround jumper's good.
Second time we've seen him get to that move. Step in, pivot, fade away off his right foot. Have another look at it. Use his body, his strength down low. Yeah, might have had a little push off, but hey, reward the aggressor.
Foul already early in possession, just over a minute to go. A 5-point lead for the Tuatara. Cooper Lepo at the line. Well, those kids are shouting for everyone. That was the same shouting noise, wasn't it? I swear that was at the fire earlier.
End.
Yeah. Maybe they've got some spot bets going on with each other.
Hey, miss twice, get a slice. Is that still a thing?
I'm unsure if that's still a thing. The reactions in recent weeks, oh, there's Jet Thompson early for a three. Ledger with another board, under a minute to go. They beat the press, do the Tuatara, but they're happy to take their time. Ledger, yeah, flashing beautifully. Knew exactly what he was doing there. And there's a player timeout from the fight.
Here's that BNZ player timeout, that QR code. Scan it, get your ticket to the big game. Why not you being that shouting fan when the free throws, Chemist Warehouse free throws are being shot? Get out, get amongst it. Only a few more rounds.
3 more rounds after this.
As we already mentioned, a lot of these players off heading overseas. Who knows how long until we'll see them again.
Thompson hand from Ledger, a legal one. Thompson has to scamper back and get it into his own half. And they would have wanted to get a shot up already by now in this possession. Kelly does eventually get one up, misses. Ledger with the board. Oh, stripped away from Wade. Ledger says, give me that. Again, too big, too strong down there in this game, Josh Ledger. No Keani Saxon, of course, for the fight, as he's going to start the South NBL game. Normally would be an absolute fixture in this Rapid League game, as we have a BNZ player timeout from the Tuatara.
Yeah, it seems like the Whai has been missing some height down low, but Jordi Hoiata cleaning up the board with 6. And they're actually winning the rebound count 17-16. See what set the Tuatara can run here.
Well, Rapson forces the turnover. Oh, but Jet Thompson stepped out of bounds. That is a killer. And the grimace on his face shows it all. I mean, 2.9 seconds left. I'm not sure they're going to erase the 9-point lead.
You know, that might be a little bit out of reach, but we've already spoken about how important that points differential is.
Well, they don't add to it, the Tuatara, but a professional job and a job well done for the men from Tamaki Makaurau. They win 43-34 in the Rapid League battle this afternoon in Tauranga. We are 21 minutes away from the South NBL battle, which will be a battle for the Tauranga Whai. And they're going to be up against it. So we see the Chemist Warehouse game stats.
Dalton absolutely had a game today. 11 points. Josh Ledger close behind with 9. And also up there on the rebounding count as well. Josh Ledger led the way with 8. Hoiata, as I already mentioned, was holding it down for the Whai. He had 7. How about Thompson dishing the ball around? 4 assists to his name. Wiley had 3. But some stats that we're not going to see, that's not going to come up on your screen right now, is the free throw difference. The Tauranga Whai went to the free throw line 15 times, shot 73% from the Chemist Warehouse, whereas the Tuatara only went 6 times, shooting 83%, but able to still come away with a dominant win.
Plenty for the Brains Trust to think about from the Tauranga Whai. Tuatara with the rapid league victory, 43-34. We will be back in 20 minutes at 4 o'clock for the Sal's NBL game here, round 13 on Sky Sport. mai, hoki mai ki Tauranga. It's time for the Sal's NBL game between the Tauranga Whai and the Auckland Tuatara. Round 13 of the National Basketball League rolls on from the QEYC in Tauranga. Hugh Bain here alongside Crystal Ledger-Walker. We've just seen a win for the Tuatara in the Rapid League. And they will look to do the double this afternoon. And really all signs point to the Tuatara for this afternoon. Crystal, they're grouped there in blue and pink, have got a lot of hard work up against them.
Right, it's not only what the Tuatara is bringing in all their depth and experience, but it's what the Whai is missing today. Not only the Tall Blacks, but also Stoddart out for them. It is going to be a hard one, but a lot of opportunities for a few of these Whai players to potentially step up into, and I know some will be chomping at the bits to steal your saying from earlier about how this game might go.
Well, the Your Shout vote pretty much sums it up. 100% thinking the Tuatara are going to come away with this one. You see big Anzac Rossetto, he has got a job on his hands this afternoon against the Twin Towers of Tamaki Makaurau. So have a look at the standings. The Tuatara have been setting the standard throughout 2026. They are 13-2. The Whai 6-9. With some pretty crucial games coming up from them in the last 3.5 rounds of the 2026 Sal's NBL. There's a look to lock in a spot with the Airs, the Bulls, the Jets, the Giants, and even the Hawks, all with a chance to sneak into that top 6 in those playoff spots. So the Whai have it all to play for, and they're going to have to do it without some serious cattle this afternoon. After this one from Dunedin, the Nuggets taking on the Wellington Saints. The Giants, again with it all to play for, take on the Bulls tomorrow from Trafalgar Centre in Whakatu. That was on 2 o'clock. The Rams back home in Otatahi on Thursday as round 14 gets underway, taking on the Taranaki Airs from 6 o'clock. And then on Friday from the Stockyard in Pukekohe, the Bulls taking on the Nuggets. It's the next 4 games coming up in the Sal's NBL. There's big bad Bobby Lowe, puts every team on notice. And really a couple of these guys for the Tuatara who could have been playing for the Tall Blacks last night if available, and if not retired internationally, as we see the starting lineup of Delling, Bairstow, Davidson, and those Twin Towers, Lowe and Johnson from the Auckland Tuatara.
Well, Cam, 8 games on the trot, that's a pretty awesome feat. How do you, particularly on offense, make it 9 tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. We haven't played the greatest offense the last few games. I think it's just part of the second half of the season. It's getting a bit scrappy. Teams know each other a lot better than the first half. I think what we can do is get out and run a little bit. We've had 0 transition points the last 2 games, which is pretty unheard of. So I think getting out, pushing the pace a little bit will help us tick that scoreboard over.
Now, defensively, this Whai team you're facing tonight, bit of a makeshift team with some players out with Tall Blacks and injury and that sort of stuff. So maybe an element of the unknown. So defensively, you know, how do you kind of shut them down and make sure that they don't get confident and get hot?
Yeah, definitely an element of unknown. We know the guys, but Jet's looking at me right now, giving me a smile. But yeah, Kiani's a very good player. Obviously, Anzac back again, which is great for them. And they're the 2 guys we haven't seen since last time. And Tato was actually out last time. So very different lineup than we played, but guys that can really fill it up and play well. So defensively, we'll just stick to the script, stick to what we do best, protect the rim, and really try to get physical with their guards.
Cam Glidden there from the Auckland Tuatara. So you see the starting lineup for the Tauranga Whai. They are missing 4 starters. So Jaden Bazant, their captain, steps into the starting point guard spot. Xander Masters, who's been an impressive young sharpshooter all season. Another youngster in Cole Hotboy, and Kiani Saxon. And then Anzac Rossetto, who has started the last game for the Whai, will lace up for Mike Lacey's men.
Matt, as a team, Whai coming into this averaging 85 points a game, missing 70 tonight, which is, obviously a fair few points. So how do you kind of, with the players you have here, sort of make up the difference?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're without a few guys tonight. But, you know, I think, if anything, a great opportunity for our young guys. You know, we've invested in that pathway for a few years now. So Kohopoi's Ana Masters getting a start tonight. I mean, they've had their moments throughout the season. And then, you know, a variety of, you know, academy players that have, you know, come through our pathway as well will get into the Rapid League. So just an opportunity for other guys to step up.
And defensively, you're facing a really well-balanced team. They're like 7 players averaging double figures. So, yeah, for your young guys and for these players tonight, where is that focus defensively?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they spread the load well, you know, and that's a big challenge for us. But I think particularly the way that they utilize their forwards and their big-to-big play. You know, we've got Anzac and Tata in there to kind of mix it up with them. And, you know, that's a big focus for us. And just being clear on what we're living with as well, you know, in a game like this is important, and the clarity for our group.
That, of course, was FI coach Matt Lacey. Shout out his dad, Mike Lacey. Great statistician and one of the great human beings in basketball in Aotearoa. And Matt Lacey there with the air and the smirk of a coach with not a lot to lose this afternoon, I think, Crystal.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to go out and throw their best shot at this Tauranga squad, this Tuatara squad, excuse me, today. But you just heard him speak about that high-low, and there we see the bigs listed in that matchup. What makes Johnson and Lowe so dangerous is their passing ability. When you bring doubles, when you try different strategies on them, they're so smart, so experienced that they can find the open guy. And when you have a Tuatara squad that is spread like they've also mentioned, it's hard to match up against. So the real attention is going to be, can Rosetto and Tata, you know, really make the most of their matchup 1v1?
To put into perspective what the FI are up against this afternoon, you see they're averaging 85.2 points per game. Well, Tarangi, Murray, Ngatai and Stoddard, between them, average over 70 points a game for the FI. So they're going to have to find that 70 plus the other 10 to get past the Tuatara this afternoon.
Not to mention the Tuatara leads the league in defense. So tough ask. But hey, there's a lot of players like Matt Lacey has spoke about that have been waiting for this opportunity that they've invested in years in the past. So, like we said, a lot of opportunity out on the floor today.
FI fans woken up. Here they are on YourShout.vote. Scan the QR code. Get your vote in. It won't affect the result, but we want to see who you think's going to get this one. Yeah, averaging over 70 points, 19 rebounds and 11 assists per game. That's what this young crew from the FI have to find in the absence of their veterans. And so far for New Zealand basketball, a pretty worthwhile absence. Ruben Tarangi was immense last night for the Tall Blacks with 22 points, 4 rebounds. Jordan Ngatai had 6 rebounds, as well as the Tall Blacks went to double overtime at Spark Arena with a win over the Philippines.
Yeah, what a crazy game. I hope you're tuned in for that one. Jordan Ngatai almost sealed it at the buzzer, but it took them a few overtimes to get the job done. But way to go to those men in black, getting it done on home soil. Always good to have international basketball, especially in New Zealand.
Certainly is, and we might see some future men in black out in this game today. Here's Rob Lowe, who had 90 games for the Tall Blacks. Chris Johnson, been around the league for a while now, into his 40s, but still getting the job done.
Hey, there's one thing that never leaves you. It's the smarts, it's the IQ, you know, and he definitely has that in bucket loads.
Mikey Graham will be lead official this afternoon. Reese Hamilton, Daniel Cooge will ably assist him.
Mikey Graham has had a busy weekend, or a couple days. He was, you know, in charge of all those video challenges we saw last night in that Tall Blacks game. They're definitely one of the best eyes out on the floor we could have.
Young ball deliverer will bring it out to Sexton and Johnson in the middle. What a job Keani Sexton and Zach Rosetto have. And probably a little bit of Jordi Hoiata as well. Against those two on the right of your screen, Lowe and Johnson.
Just sticking on this big debate, another thing that's going to be really important today is keeping out of foul trouble if you're a FI post.
And then they're also going to bring Tom Bogdanovic off the bench as well, who's about as strong a player as we have in the NBL. It is 0-0. The Tuatara have not started with an 8-point advantage. That'll get fixed. But we are underway, and there is Lowe finding Johnson early. Out the back door. Back door and into the backyard though, so a defensive stop to start the game for the FI.
Great start for the Whai. We spoke about that double. Just a little bit of a lax pass. Goes out of bounds, the Whai.
Talked about opportunities. Matt Lacey mentioned opportunities as Kearney Saxon puts up a 3. And there we go, the Whai with the first points of this one. And it takes me back to the early 2000s where it was the Nelson Giants taking on the Wellington Saints, and Tall Blacks were away. The likes of Judge Flavel and Dutchie Rademakers, Ralph Lattimore away, and up stepped a young Mike Fitcher and a young Mika Vakona for their first ever games at a high school into the Nelson Giants, and a couple of NZNBL and Tall Blacks legends were born then and there as they beat the Saints at home with a couple of teenagers running the cutter.
I'm glad we have you, because my age, I do not remember Mika Vakona ever being young.
He was young and insanely athletic at one point. As we get a 3-ball up, looking to tie things up, they don't. Big rebound, Anzac Rosetto. You can see the work Rosetto and Saxon already putting in. It's Bazant looks to go all the way, and a 5-point lead to the Whai early on. And the more scoring, obviously the more scoring they can get, Crystal, but the more confidence they can get as they go, as Rosetto off the Bazant steal.
Yeah, absolutely. What a way to open that game. And I think that 3 by Saxon also is a great look for them. That just stretches those shot blockers in Lowe and Johnson out of the paint, giving the likes of JB room to get to the rim.
Another steal from Bazant, and we're going to have a 9-0 start to this game in favour of the Tauranga Whai. And a timeout from the Auckland Tuatara, and you can see that emotional start that the Whai desperately needed. Well, they've only got it, and some.
Yeah, make us eat our words early. Have a look at the Whai, that defensive pressure resulting in a Jaden Bazant fast break layup. That is a way to open the game if you're the Whai. The Tuatara coming off a close one versus the Giants. They wouldn't have been happy, and I'm surprised by this start. I thought they would have, you know, more of a revenge type of mentality coming into this game.
It can be tough in these situations in all sport when you are such heavy favourites, to come out and no matter how much you tell yourself, no matter how much the coach tells you, you need to be on, you need to be on, you need to be on. There's always something maybe subconsciously in the back of your mind saying, do I need to be that on today? Maybe we're seeing that with the Tuatara.
Yeah, absolutely. The way the Whai squad looks up and about, the energy off the bench. They said, hey, don't cross us. We've read the pre-game write-ups, know what you're saying about us. Let us show you something different.
So the Whai were just the one player on the bench who didn't feature in the Rapid League, and that is Nick Tata, who's had an up and down season for them. It's an import big. Tuatara do have the luxury of Tom Wadanovic as well as their Rapid League squad. Here's Chris Johnson into that rangy 3-point motion of his off to the left. A rebound from Hoppoy, who's got Davidson on him. I think he might have stood out of bounds.
Unlucky for Hoppoy, who hustled that one down. But that's also going to be key, giving this Tuatara squad one shot, getting the rebound. So we see Biesto with the find to Davidson.
Masters out on him. Davidson strong into the lane, swatted away by Saxon, came from the weak side. And they need to win those moments, and so far they have the fight. Bazant gets in up high with his left hand off the glass, and he gets it to go. And a double-digit lead for the Whai, who have kept the Tuatara scoreless for over the first 2 minutes of this game.
I'm excited seeing Jaden Bazant be this aggressive and attack the bigs in this fashion. Blocking foul. Rosetto upset about it.
Well, we've seen some really admirable but also hilarious self-restraint from Anzac Rosetto in recent weeks with the referees. And that was another sign. Previous years, he may have got himself in a bit of trouble there as Isaac Davidson finally gets the Tuatara on the board.
Davidson doing what he does best, knocking down the 3-ball, averaging 15 points per game. JB with the kickback.
Rosetto looking to fire straight back. That was high off the back eye. Xander Masters, who has been impressive this season with the O board. Saxon sets the screen for the ever languid Jaden Bazant. Pulls up from mid-range and drains it.
Hey, the cameraman knew that was going in. Little flash across your screen. little suspense building for JB, who is on fire to start this game.
Tom Badanovic has just drawn a foul off Keani Saxon as they made their way down the court. As we see Bazant. If there's ever a day where the Fire need JD Bazant to get in his bag, it is today. And you mentioned about those 5 bigs staying under foul trouble. It's 1 each on Saxon and Rossetto already, so Tata comes into the game. Last time he played in this building, he ripped his jersey in 2, being subbed off in the 3rd quarter. So a frustrating outing against the Sharks. Ball a little short there from Dilling, and a rebound for Tata.
Yeah, interesting to see how Tata goes and how he responds. It's always hard when you bring other players into teams that sit in your role. Dilling looking to probe. Oh, almost got a piece of that.
Saxon almost with the block. Masters with his hand up. See the foul's called on here. I think it was called on Bazant. Yeah, just that hand there from Bazant. So not a second foul on Saxon. First on JB, as he's known.
Dilling, one of those point guards that just has a lot of poise, cool-headed, doesn't get sped up, and knows when to pick his moments. Better known as a pass-first point guard, but absolutely knows how to score the ball as well.
Makes them both from the line, and the subs come in. Zach Riley, number 13 in the South NBL, or number 11 in the Rapid League. Here's Masters curling. Scored 20 points in that gym against the Sharks just a couple of weeks ago. That first floater of his doesn't go. Badanovic just bullocking down the lane. Earning a foul. There is the second foul on Keani Saxon.
That's a tough one if you're the Phi. Tom Badanovic, one of the strongest players in our league. And then we see that sub coming in for Saxon real quick. Josh Kelly in off the bench. Did a great job rebounding the ball in our Rapid League game just a few moments ago.
Badanovic misses the first. Tough cover, really, wherever he's played, Tom Badanovic. He's been a few places around the league, one or two, Wellington, Southland.
Former MVP of this league, career high, 43 points. It's pretty, you know, it's a luxury when you have someone like him coming off the bench.
What a play off the inbound, and it's finished off. Bairstow with the two-handed slam.
Great delivery, great set play for him to curl with nobody ready to catch. JB finding space.
Badanovic comes down with the board. Tuatara looking to eat into what was an 11-0 start for the Phi. Rob Lowe off to the left. Rebounded by Hopwood. Masters. It's tied up in the lane a bit, so a reset through Bazant. 6 on the shot clock. Bazant all the way to the cup. Another rebound for Badanovic.
Good defense from Riley to get under that screen and pick him back up. Meant they didn't have to switch and give up a mismatch.
Bairstow just loses the rock.
Now Bairstow actually played with the Phi last year, so should feel comfortable back on this court.
Jet Thompson into the game. We flagged during the Rapid League that he was playing a little less minutes than used to in the Rapid League, so expect to see him a bit more in the South NBL game, and he's in after 5 minutes. Here he is, ball in hand, looking for his running partner, Xander Masters. Puts up the floater instead, rattles around, doesn't drop, and another Badanovic rebound, 3 in as many minutes for Tommy V. Major cleared some good space for Riley, who earns a trip to the line.
Yeah, great connection between Ledger and Riley on that drive.
Look at the foul count. Crystal, 6 fouls to none so far.
Now, in that pre-game interview, we heard Cam Glennon speak about them having 0 transition points. So maybe more of an emphasis to push the pace, get out and score early in the shot clock.
Riley makes them both. Lowe and Davidson on the bench at the moment for Cam Glennon. Hands it off to Masters, slings it over. 3 ball from the corner, doesn't go for Kelly. And a foul on the floor. And it goes against the fight.
Unlucky there. That was a great find by Masters to have the vision to see behind him, his shooter in the corner. Oh, giving up the full court walk to the Chemist Warehouse free throw line will hurt the fight.
Lacey discussing the most recent call. Josh Dilling will head to the line. Foul called on CJ Flavel, I believe.
CJ Flavel recently committing to Winston-Salem Christian University over in the States. See him jet off soon. Dilling in and out.
Do we know where that is? Is it North Carolina?
I'll have to look that up for us.
Always interesting. It's such an exciting adventure for these youngsters, and they go over to the States. And such a wildly different experience depending on where they go, as Masters drives up with the left, rolls all the way around the rim. Hit out of bounds by Kelly. Just a frustrated look on Masters' face, where he's going to get plenty of chance for points tonight, it seems.
Going back to question, it is North Carolina. Is that what you said?
Salem famous for the witch trials back in the day. I don't think there's much of that going on anymore. Zdanovic, that signature hitch and his 3-point shot and his first look from beyond the arc's a good one.
That's why the cat's called Salem in all those movies and all the Halloween.
Witch and
yes.
Exactly.
Putting it together now.
Well, ominous sign. And Matt Lacey sees it, calls the timeout, as we see Tom Zdanovic. I'm going to take people way back to the 2020 South Showdown, where he hit 10 in a game for the Manawatu Jets and just got hot from beyond the arc that entire 6-week tournament.
That's the scary thing when you have bigs that can pop, that know how to read the game. And these guards for the Tuatara are smart enough to draw 2, space them away, and give their bigs room to line that shot up. And like you just said, Tom Zdanovic does not need an invitation to take that look.
Well, they led by 11. They now lead by 1. The Tuatara a little late to the gym. But they're here now, and they've started to cook.
And our final one right here. Big thank you to our friends at Chemist Warehouse for hooking us up. And we need that noise all game.
I think one statistical difference we might see this afternoon is bench points. Already 5-0 in favour of the Tuatara.
That, and at this point, the fouls. Tauranga Whai 7. The Tuatara still yet to foul.
Between Zach Riley and Tom Zdanovic coming off the Tuatara bench, they average 30 points a game. And that is one of them. Very, very many reasons this Tuatara team are going to be tough to stop down the stretch of the NZNBL as Present gets in. And there's the first foul. It goes the way of the Tauranga Whai.
When you have numbers like that coming off the bench, you can tell the culture must be good in the team. That unselfishness, the willingness to make the extra pass, you know, dropping your ego at the door. All good signs for the Tuatara heading into this later part of the season.
Especially when it is a couple of guys who could go and start at almost any other team in the league.
Yeah, interesting to see how players sacrifice to take a championship.
A tough fall away to his left, but he gets the mid-ranger to go.
So silky with his touch, how he gets to his spots on the floor. Tommy V looking.
Well, Tommy V chased off the three-point line. Instead finds Josh Dilling. He goes, I'll drain it. Don't worry about it. 15 apiece.
Dilling with the confidence to step into that one. 0 from 2 earlier, now up to 1 from 3.
Rosetto sets a couple of screens, one either side for Bazan. Skips into the lane, finds Kelly in the corner. Off the back line, rebound pulled in by Wilkie. And the Tuatara a chance to take what would be their first lead of the night. Is that right? He just waltzes into a wide open three, but he can't get it to go.
Waltz into that because Tommy V started to slip out of that early, taking 2 defenders with him.
Zant loses the rock. Vodanovic comes away with it.
Zant 8 points, and leading the way for the offense for the Whai.
Riley, another look at the three. Doesn't get it to go. Vodanovic thought he was pushed on the box out. No whistle. Jet Thompson comes the other way. Rosetto clears space by hook or by crook. And he goes to work on Ledger. A couple of former Nelson Giants going to work on the low post. And Rosetto earns a foul, go the line, shoot 2.
2 of the most physical posts, I would say, in the league. And 2 that don't shy away from the contact. Rosetto and Ledger going at it. Another look here. Got a piece up top, but called for the body down low. Rosetto at the Chemist Warehouse. First trip to the Chemist Warehouse free throw line for the Whai, and that was the first foul for the Tuatara. Sorry about that, the second foul. My live stats haven't updated.
Gets it to go, does Anzac Rosetto. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter and a 2-point lead for the Whai.
Have a look at the Whai sitting in a 3-2 zone.
Dilling skips it over to Davidson. 3-ball in and out for Isaac Davidson. Rosetto comes down with the board. Again, Bazant just finds his way into the paint. That high arcing runner doesn't go, but he's getting 2 feet in the paint with ease. Down low, Bairstow. A nice move too, good find from Chris Johnson. As those two just swap roles for a moment.
And that's the luxury of Bairstow as well, that length, his versatility to play the point, initiate offense, but also post up and run the floor.
Bairstow a little more active defensively this time. Goes around the screen, pulls up from mid-range, delays his release. Good defense from Bairstow. A minute to go in the first quarter. Davidson running the floor after getting the rebound. Bairstow, nice find from Dilling. And the hoop, the harm, and Sean Bairstow will go the line. Looking to convert a 3-point play.
Have another look. Dilling with the vision. Bairstow with the first step advantage. Gets ball and finishes inside. Former Whai player feeling good to be back in Tauranga.
Gets the extra point. A 3-point lead for the Tuatara. Hotboy hesitated on his first look. Puts it long. Rob Lowe back into the game and straight into the rebounds. So Lowe and Johnson back out there together. Davidson has to pull that in. Nearly went out of bounds and he turns it into a knuckleball 3. Does Isaac Davidson.
Davidson up to 6 points with that one. Drilled one earlier in this match. Masters, we know he can put the ball in the hoop. Got it.
He does that for the first time for him this evening. Be happy to see that one drop. Good seasons under Masters, but often Crystal coming off the bench and taking on players who we would have played against in the Rapid League or fellow bench players from the other team. Not tonight, stepping up against Tall Blacks and the likes of Lowe and Davidson. And there's Davidson just sneaking away around the low screen. Gets Masters to jump and finishes. And that'll do us for the first quarter. Well, a slow start, well, I should say a fast start for the Tauranga Whai. They were out, if you can believe it, and you've joined us late, to an 11-0 lead. This Tuatara side have clawed it back and some. They leave 25-19 at the end of the first quarter here in Tauranga.
So we need to make the shot. That is the key thing here. And we can steal a voucher. There we go. We're on the way. I might need to spread these out a little bit more, right? Here we go. Make it a bit even. Here we go. So we're back. One each on the board here. There we go. There's another one for Max. There we go. I missed Tate as well. Okay. On to 2 each. Can we do 3? Can we do 3? We are almost there. We are. There we go, boys. I was just about to say you need enough wheat mix this morning, but there we go. We got there. All right. We have 4 left in the middle here. 2 more shots each. There we go. There's another one. Well done. Another one here too. All right. All right. We're down to the last couple. Here we go. Another one. Let's get it behind the 5, fam. We're down to the last 2 here. Let's share them on. We've got 1 more to go. 1 more to go. Here we go. Hey, look at that. Just in time. Pick up your vouchers, boys. Well done. And a big thank you to Sal's Pizza for hooking us up with the goods.
That's a Sal's Steel. It's now available in all Sal's pizza areas across New Zealand. A combination of our famous New York pizza roll, pepperoni, classic cheese, and delicious garlic knots all laid up in the
Welcome back, second quarter about to get underway at the Queen Elizabeth Youth Centre in beautiful Tauranga. It was even more beautiful for a few seconds if you're a Whai fan at the start of the game. They had an 11-0 lead. It's been clawed back and taken over by this experienced and almost full-strength Tuatara side. And this very much understrength Whai side have got it all to do. They trail by 6. We're back underway, and if you haven't already, grab yourself a large 5 Boroughs pizza from our friends at Sal's by using the QR code on your screen or using the online code SALSPLASH26. Jet Thompson drops it off to Anzac Rossetto as the Whai look to get the scoring going. Rossetto gets his own rebound up with the left this time, and they do get the first points of the second quarter.
Rossetto up to 6 points with that bucket. And if you're just tuning in, a couple players in foul trouble for the Whai. Jaden Bazant is sitting with 2. Saxon is also sitting with 2 on the bench.
Rossetto has to come over and help. Bairstow pushes Rob Lowe but gets away with it. And as he does, Rob Lowe just checks with the referees on his way up the court. Thompson right in among the tall timber, loses his footing, somehow gets the pass to Rossetto, who also loses his footing. Keeps the ball. Thompson. And the Rossetto screen. The baseline floater left well short, and Rob Lowe says, thank you, I'll have that.
Jaden Bazant was doing most of the scoring that first quarter, and what a dime to the big man inside. Take a bow, Chris Johnson. But Jaden Bazant doing most of the scoring for the Whai. Who is going to produce, who's going to play make in his absence right now?
Chet Thompson seems to be given the reins. And that young lineup out there with Sounder Masters, here he is. Cole Hopoi, Josh Kelly. And those are 4 guys who would normally start the Rapid League game for Matt Lacey as Cole Hopoi gets the 3 to go.
Great unselfish ball movement with that play. Not afraid to make the extra pass, paying off for the Whai.
Here's Johnson, hands it off to Bairstow. That Johnson-Lowe combination, one of, if not the most potent in our league. Bairstow spins. Thompson and Kelly do well, though, come up with the ball. Masters gets the drop off. Hopoi back to Masters, 3 ball. Doesn't go, that would have brought some energy to the QEYC. Instead, Davidson goes the other way. The trap, the half court. Wide open in the corner is that Riley. And he needs a fraction of that time to drain a 3 ball.
Too easy helps when you're Rob Lowe, and you can see over all of the defense. for your teammate standing all alone out on the wing.
Hot Boys 3, that time short. Chris Johnson just pushed off that screen by Josh Kelly, and Mikey Graham says, can't do that. A foul on Josh. His first. Jaden Bazant and Keani Saxon come back into the game for the fight.
You can just feel some tension starting to rise. A lot of pushing off the ball going on right now.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if it's part of the Fire's game plan. Well, Matt Lacey said in the interview pre-game, need to be physical, need to win those moments. There's a couple of older heads out there for the Tuatara who don't like getting pushed around by upstart youngsters, you know. Looking at Rob Lowe, Chris Johnson.
Especially when they come out with the energy that they did. They're all about getting up and in.
Anzac Rossetto has a way of getting under the skin of his opponents as they get called for that foul. Anzac Rossetto wants it on the floor.
Anzac Rossetto trying to take it for Keani Saxon, who has 2. See where it goes.
See the big swipe here from Rossetto there. Deemed to be in a shooting motion. So Chris Johnson at the line. What an addition he has been to the NZNBL in recent years. Played in the league, been around, played in some big time, big money 3x3 competitions in recent times.
Man, that part, the big money. But no, he's been all around, the experience he brings. If you follow the Tuatara socials, we heard their GM speak about how he's just come in, really bought into the culture, the ego that he leaves at the door, and how he's not, you know, after chasing that individual success anymore, he's about chasing the team championships. That's why they're so happy to have him. Rossetto can't get that 3 to go.
Davidson comes the other way. Wilkie catch and shoot and nails it too. The quick release from Dylan Wilkie in the corner extends the Tuatara lead. Yeah, Chris Johnson, married to a Kiwi, of course, which was the link that brought him here in the first place.
And shout out to his wife. Thank you for bringing him over here and keeping him in our league. Rossetto trying to go to work down low. Had success there earlier, finding it again.
Rob Lowe called for the foul. Chris Johnson's wife, a Takapuna local. So short of the absence of the Harbour Heat in the last 20-odd years. It's the Auckland Tuatara who represent Tamaki Makaurau.
I've just done a little bit more research. His wife's name's Tammy. So shout out to you, Tammy. And they also share some twins, like you mentioned, from Takapuna.
Anzac Rossetto, originally from Blenheim, at the line. Picton, I should say. I don't want to upset anyone for Picton. Marlborough.
Right, let us get it right. Good to have him back home. Recently went over to Germany, won a championship.
Basket will count, and Josh Delling will go the line. Up to 7 points now and a chance to make it 8 from the Chemist Warehouse.
Josh Dilling averaging 15 points per game. Look at that little head fake. Gives himself enough room to get it to the hoop. And I like that action. +2.
Converts the three-point play. And a 12-point lead midway, or approaching the midway point of the second quarter. You have joined us late. No Jordan Ngatai, no Rum Tarangi, no Tane Murray, all the way with the Tall Blacks for the Five. Nick Stoddart tried to come back from his calf injury in the last couple of weeks, but only played 5 minutes in their most recent hit out before coming to it again, so he misses. Between them all, that's over 70 points 11 rebounds and 6 assists. So a lot for this young Whai team to do. They come away with a turnover here. Xander Masters has it. Across the baseline, finds Kelly, goes right at Chris Johnson. Gets the foul, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2.
That's a way to have no fear. The young fella, year 13 in Mount Maunganui College, goes straight up at the vet who has NBA experience. Another look, doesn't get it the first time, but sticks with it. Patience and poise with the up fake. Takes a stroll to the Chemist Warehouse.
He'll take a lot of confidence from that one moment. What an awesome opportunity for someone like Josh Kelly to get a whole chunk of minutes having to look after Vodanovic, Lowe, Johnson. So good for his development as he makes the second free throw.
9-point game. Number 22, Tata, and number 10, Saxon, subbing on.
Takes the seat as Tata and Saxon come on to replace Kelly and Rossetto. Trying to keep those bigs fresh is Matt Lacey. Stilling is clattered by Keone Saxon, who's on 2 fouls, so got away with that one there. The Tuatara come away with 2 points anyway. They lead by 9, 10, 11. Oh, Hopoi with the mid-ranger.
Now, not putting that foul on Saxon, I know we give our officials a lot of heat, but they also take those things into account. You know, what the time and play of the game is, what the situation, how many fouls they have. So good to see them just let that play out. Tommy V with the strong finish down low. And what about that pass from Bierstow?
Zant gets it back from Saxon. Tata sets the screen, drives to the hoop. Zant goes all the way though. Can't get the finish. And Tuatara looked to pile on the pain. Dylan Wilkie, another 3 for him. His second of the night. And a timeout from the Tauranga Whai, who trail by 14 with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Now, we've spoken about depth for this Tuatara squad, but what about their roles? Wilkie, known as a shooter, really bought into that role. When he's open, he's taking it. And Dylan, doing what he does best, dishing the ball out, feeding the hot hand. Tuatara rolling right now.
45-31, 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. You look at some of these stats, Crystal, and as you can imagine, pretty reading if you're a fan of the Auckland Tuatara. How about the assist stat? Just showing how well the Tuatara moved the ball. 12 assists to 3.
Yeah, not good signs for the Tauranga Whai. You can obviously see there's a lot of individual creation happening out there on that side of the court. Jaden Bazant with 2 assists, Jet Thompson with 1. Those are the only assists we've seen for the Whai.
Tuatara 7 for 15 from beyond the arc. That's good for 46% from three-point land. Meanwhile, Whai just shooting 22%, 2 for 9. %, 57% from the field for the Tuatara.
And you know, those Tuatara players, especially their shooters, Isaac Davidson, got comfortable when the Whai were in that zone. You know, they really found space in the corners, stretching them out. And that's obviously carried over into the later stages of this game as the Whai have tried to go back into a man-to-man defense as well.
So what has Matt Lacey talked about during that timeout? Let's have a look. Tata still out there. Gets it from Bazant. Gives it back to him. Bazant up with his left. Again leaves it short. Get into good positions, Jaden Bazant. But the rim protection and the shot defense from the Tuatara, tough to overcome so far. Vodanovic spinning. So big, so strong, and with the touch to finish too.
Not much you can do when Tommy V decides to put his head down and get himself in the paint.
Masters finds a bit of space, drops it into Tata, up with the little baby hook from the baseline. A little rushed though. Vodanovic and Saxon having a good battle off the ball. No look pass from Vodanovic, and the finish from Bairstow. Nearly, the Tuatara, I should say, nearly at 50 with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. As we have a foul called on Vodanovic.
Foul on number 32, Vodanovic.
And Zach Rossetto will come back into the game as Nick Tata takes the seat.
Coming on, number 54, NZNBL.
See what the Whai can come up with here. A little bit of a slow start. Popoi getting it back out to Rossetto. JB with the extra. Saxon has hit one from there in this game, but can't get it to go the second time.
Bairstow comes down with the rebound, just slows things down. Vodanovic, pass not where it's meant to be, but they clean it up and find Wilkie, who's hit 2 already. That one off. Masters with the board. Masters back to Saxon, hands it over. Popoi. And on the shot clock, Masters round the screen, puts up the 3, gets it to go. Xander Masters.
Up to 7 points with that one, and they needed it. Shoots the 3 ball at 54%, the best percentage in the league.
Vodanovic hits the deck. Gets the ball back though, once he's regained his feet, puts up a 3, rattles it in. Tommy V.
He is feeling too good, too comfortable right now. Little look off, punch dribble, straight into a 3 ball.
Bazant again in the paint. Again, just can't get the finish, Jaden Bazant.
He is frustrated. Just short on a lot of his shots. Potentially some fatigue. Having to take a bigger role in today's matchup. Tommy V, feed the beast inside.
Jaden Bazant leading all scorers with 10 points. He's also taken 6 extra shots, more than anyone else in the game. He's 5 for 11. He'll shoulder a lot of the action today as we have a timeout. With the Tuatara in a pretty healthy lead late in this second quarter, 52-34.
Healthy lead, and they're rotating 9, which is good signs of the Tuatara. You know, a lot of people getting reps, burn in the Sal's NBL game.
Already that bench point differential, Crystal, 23-1.
It's tough asking for the Whai. But you know, it's hard when you have people leave your team. You don't know who's going to step up, whose role is what, who can take over at any moment. And you just see that spacing start to collapse, especially on the offensive end. I think it's, especially for young players, the tendency to come get the ball, try to help out. But sometimes it's better just to stay in your space, you know, get deep corners and try open up some of those driving lanes.
You mentioned people leaving your team. Would there be a more influential duo on any team in our league than Ngātai and Tarangi? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Maybe Lowe and Johnson, the only other combination you can think of.
Right, but you even, if you're tuned into the Tall Blacks game last night, you know, the way Jordan Ngātai, Ruben Tarangi are leading their timeouts, that leadership, the experience they bring, you know, let's just call it for what it is. They lost 400 games of experience when those two left this Whai squad. So a lot of leadership and knowledge also leaving when they left the building.
As well as missing out on their 2 primary ball handlers in Tane Murray and Nick Stoddart.
Yeah, can't go past Murray. The last time these two teams matched up, he had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. So not only that scoring load, but also chipping in other categories as well.
Masters finds Thompson. Vodanovic down low. Might let's go to work on Rob Lowe. The big, strong individuals. Lowe wins that battle and comes down with the rebound. Lowe sets a screen and pops, but before any pass can be thrown, Rosetto's called for a foul.
And that will be Rosetto's second. Saxton went out of the game with 4 personal fouls.
There's a tough cover. The 3-headed monster of Lowe, Vodanovic and Johnson.
You hope it's just a 2-headed monster on a good day. But when you have Tommy V coming off the bench and feeling as good as he's been looking, really tough ask for the Whai defense.
All 3 of them can shoot the 3. Vodanovic is so strong, so physical. Lowe and Johnson just have that touch. All 3 with high basketball IQ. Masters sneaks away from Davidson off the screen, and that's 2 in a row from beyond the arc for Xander Masters.
So you're talking about high IQ, you want to talk about high things, check out my 3-point percentage. Great shot, he's one that can definitely be more aggressive, hunting that 3 ball.
Dilling pass fakes Rosetto out of the building and then drains the wide open 3. And that'll do us for the first half. It started with an 11-0 run from the undermanned Whai as we see Xander Masters. A glint of hope for the Whai late in the second half. Dilling shrugs off the defence, drains the 3. And it has been all Auckland Tuatara since that 11-0 run. They lead 58-37 at half-time. We'll have a look at the stats after the break here on Sky Sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Dance with let's go.
Welcome back. It is halftime here at the Tauranga Whai's home court. Tuatara dominant first half performance, 58-37. They are out having a good time. I'm Crystal Eduoka here with Hugh Bainan, giving you some halftime stats. Let's check out how that first half broke down.
Chemist Warehouse tail of the tape at half-time. As you can see, Tom Vodanovic, Josh Dilling leading the way for the Tuatara, but a pretty equal spread from both teams, Crystal.
Yeah, but let's have a look at that Tauranga Whai squad between Bazan and Masters. They've put in over half their team's scoring. Definitely need someone else to step up. I'm not sure who it will be because they have some foul trouble as well. Saxon sitting on 4 fouls. Then we have a look at the rebounding count. The Tuatara absolutely dominating the boards. 23 rebounds to the Whai's 14. And it's not going to get any easier. As I just mentioned, one of the big men for the Whai, Saxon, out with those 4 fouls. Rosetto also has 2. Josh Kelly has 2. So some more disciplined play, and look at all those assists for the Tuatara.
There's a 16-5 assist count in favour of the folks from Tamaki Mikoto. Just the one block from Keani Saxon right at the start of the game during that fast start that they had. And those couple of steals from Jaden Bazant were at the same time. Since that 11-0 run, it has been pretty much all this experienced Tuatara squad. But hey, that's not going to stop Whai fans having a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting out, supporting their team. Make sure you scan that QR code to get a ticket to the big game. When we see a BNZ player timeout, hopefully play out in this one. Thanks to the Chemist Warehouse for all those official stats.
It is half-time in Tauranga between this undermanned Whai side and this Auckland Tuatara side, who have been running right along the NZNBL in 2026. An uphill battle for the Whai in the second half. We'll see how it all goes down when the third quarter gets underway under the break here on Sky Sport. teams are back out on the court at QEYC in Tauranga as they prepare for the third quarter. And Crystal, well, that's going to be contrasting messages, of course. It's probably going to be a keep your eyes on the prize, keep doing what you need to do for the Tuatara from Cam Glidden. Meanwhile, the Tauranga Whai, what do you think the message from Matt Lacey was?
Start this half the way you started the game. The energy, the intensity, you know, throwing that first punch is going to be key, because that second quarter is where they really let that lead go. The Auckland Tuatara piled on 33 points. The Tauranga Whai only able to put up 18. So yes, they need some more offense, but the way they were flying around, the energy that they started the game with, I think that could go a long way in this one if they're able to start the second half the same way. But a lot of work to do if you're the Whai, especially, as I said earlier, with that foul trouble for your big Saxon sitting on 4.
75% of you think the Tuatara are going to get the win. A hopeful 25% Whai fans still clinging on to hope, which is good.
Sure, Jordan Atai, Ruben Terangi, Tane Murray getting their votes in for their squad. I'm sure they'll be watching on. A little bit of FOMO.
All Blacks back in action on, Tall Blacks I should say, back in action on Monday against Guam. The All Blacks in action tonight in Sky Sport.
So much going on, so much basketball, so deep in our calendar. Hope you can get out and support our guys in black. So good to have international games on our home soil, and it doesn't happen very often.
It doesn't. This switch in the Asia Cup in recent years, though, has been most welcome, a home and away, the way they do it, and just not only seeing the Tall Blacks, which, you know, in previous generations we rarely got to see at home, but also seeing the other countries come to town and see them and witness their fans as well. I mean, the Filipinos are the biggest standout in that regard, but you know, when China comes to town, Japan, like, it's just phenomenal to
China.
Yeah,
That chant.
Get opened up to different basketball cultures. Ones we don't see in sort of the other traditional sports that we play here in Aotearoa.
So much more happy when China comes and plays us here or somewhere else in the world. I remember going and playing in China, and they smoke in the gyms, or they were allowed to back then, and you had to actually have like ash or soot on your fingers. It's crazy to me as a 16-year-old girl finding that out the hard way.
Isaac Davidson, Chris Johnson talking things over. Still taking a while for me to get used to Isaac Davidson not in a Franklin Bulls jersey.
Probably a touchy subject
north,
for the
yeah.
Bulls.
I wonder if it is, making the switch north to the Tuatara, becoming a key part of what they're trying to do this year.
Sure, his mum will be happy to have him close to home. Bronwyn Davidson named the 2023 Coach of the Year.
Used to terrorise me. It did a young teenage Isaac Davidson in the gym at Northcote College. His big Bobby Lowe. Oh, nice smart spin, veteran move, and a beautiful one at that from Rob Lowe.
You're right, veteran move, knows how to use his body, and better yet, knows how to use the defense's physicality against them.
That's the difference between Rossetto and Lowe. Rossetto actually throws his body around and his strength around a lot more than Rob Lowe.
Gonna need those ones to go if they want to have a chance coming back into this one. Masters with the great dime. Oh, miscommunication results. And Isaac Davidson, bucket down low.
Double digits for the Iceman now, up to 10. Masters slings it back to Kelly. Bazant drops it off to Kelly, and Lowe with the defense. And it will remain to a 5 possession.
Kelly, no fear going up against these Twin Towers inside.
Oh boy. Reset through Bazant. 4 on the shot clock. Bazant pulls up from mid-range. Good hand from Dilling. And it will be Tuatara possession.
Bazant popped off early for a quick 10 points, but it's really cooled down, especially in that second quarter. Hopefully he can get himself going again in the second half. And the Whai back to their 3-2 zone.
Yet to shoot a three-pointer, Jaden Mazant. Convinced I've got multiple memories of him getting hot from deep in the South NBL over the years.
Absolutely. But today we've seen getting a lot more paint touches.
Hot boy step back three, rattles around, doesn't drop. Johnson with the board. Just a second rebound for Chris Johnson. And leaving it all up to Lowe and Vodanovic. This time he earns a foul and will go to the line to shoot two.
We already spoke about Johnson and his unselfishness, you know, not chasing those stats, chasing the wins, doing the intangible things that might not show up on a stat sheet. And Nick Tata back in the game for the fight. Seen under 6 minutes of action so far. Davidson with the fake.
Johnson, the turnaround jumper on the baseline. Good for two.
What type of a cheat code is that? You know, can rise up, release over pretty much anyone. And JB begging for that foul, going to the hoop.
Tata, cool for goaltending.
Not the start the fight would have wanted. Auckland Tuatara on a 6-0 run.
Boy driving, finishing smartly over a few tall bits of timber from the Tuatara.
Just great to see his confidence grow this season. Has a great basketball frame. Bierstow, speaking of great frames, inside with the length.
We're up to 70 now, almost double his FI score as Masters gets himself burrowed into the lane. Good rebound though. We'll talk about in the wider context of the Auckland Tuatara, Crystal, as Rossetto looks to draw a foul. Instead commits one.
That's his third.
Probably an unnecessary one, Matt Lacey would tell him. Rob Lowe bringing the ball up over halfway. No real threat to suddenly put the hammer down and scoot to the hoop.
But
no real rush either, Rob Lowe at the time.
No, and in all fairness, Rossetto probably isn't used to picking up full court as well.
That's it. The Tuatara and the wider scheme of what they're trying to achieve. They will be desperate for the championship. Lost a couple of grand finals, lost a semi-final last year that many of us picked them to. And that elusive championship since they've come into the league. And come into the league as a great franchise and revitalised basketball at the Event Finder Stadium. Got some great players in their team and a great culture and a great brand. And one thing they'll be missing is that bit of silverware that's eluded them over the last 5 years. Nice find, Lowe. Again, combining with Johnson, who does the rest.
Yeah, speaking of championship mindset and things that they've banked on, it's those two bigs and those types of looks inside the high-low action that they're well known for. JB hunting that pull-up, finally gets it to go up to 12. But now, correct me if I'm wrong, was it 3 consecutive finals that the Tuatara lost in a row? I'm sure all the fans at home will remember much better than I do.
I think it was Nuggets, followed by Rams and Rams. And of course, last year, the Saints getting up over the Southland Sharks, who at the time were a surprise grand finalist, but nothing bad, not anymore. Now you see how they're going this year.
And, you know, if you're the Tuatara, you're also thinking of peaking at the right time. We've seen them, you know, have a real close one with the Giants just recently. And started a little bit complacent to start this game.
And Nick Tata in good position there, gets his own board. He just looks like a player bereft of confidence at the moment with the way he shoots. And the way he seems to be rushed all the time. So we're going to have a timeout from Matt Lacey in the fight.
Yeah, definitely want to talk that one over this quarter. 14-6 by way of the Tuatara. But yeah, if you're Matt Lacey, you know, they're not out of this championship hunt either. They still have a chance to make the playoffs. They know how important the points differential is. Their Rapid League squad goes good. But this is a great chance for some of these other players to step up. And you know, when you get into that playoff run, anything could happen. Players could go out in foul trouble, injuries. So you want to try get this right and make these reps valuable.
I don't think he's going to be out there saying, let's go out and win this game. It's about, let's go and get this right, work on this. Him and the coaching staff will just sit back and take in what these youngsters are putting out there, start playing on how they can use them down the stretch in this season. Still very much in that hunt, a pretty congested hunt for those last spots in the top 6, but as of right now, they still lead the way for that 6th spot.
And like I said, all about peaking at the right time. You just have to get into that 6 and anything can happen. All you've done throughout the season does not matter when you get into the business end. If you can get on a roll, momentum counts for everything at that end of the season.
There's smiles all around on the Tuatara bench and in the Tuatara lineup. They're enjoying themselves out there, and who wouldn't be with 5 minutes to go in the third? They lead 75-43. Just sort of top the ladder. Dylan finds Johnson, thought about the long two, instead finds Wilkie, puts up a 3 and he drains it. Dylan Wilkie.
You know what just impressed me the most about that play is the limited dribbles. They caught the ball, scanning, move it, let the ball do the work, make the defense adjust off the pass.
That's where their coach excelled as a player, Cam Glidden, catch and shoot specialist in his time in the Australian NBL, the Australian national team. Here's County Saxon, he's out there in a bit of foul trouble. Matt Lacey's going to let him run all the way to the hoop, but he can't get the layup to go, and he comes out of bounds off Tata.
Saxon hit a 3 to start the game, but has not scored since. He's only played 8 minutes so far in this one.
Big 3, big block, and then 4 fouls on big men. It's pretty much been County Saxon's afternoon so far. Here he is, having to guard Tom Vodanovic, who will very much know that the youngster's on 4 fouls. Ledger drops it off, and there is the end of County Saxon's afternoon. Or is it just a goaltending call? Just a goaltending call. No foul, no foul. You stay out there, young man.
I'm glad that worked out that way. Saxon back after 5 years in the States, played some Division II ball, finished at Wyoming University, a big Division I school. Can't get that floater to go, but some promising signs for the big man.
Josh Ledger with his 3rd rebound. Just 7 minutes of action in the NZNBL game. Here he is. Good ball movement from the Tuatara. As we said, are enjoying themselves out there. Riley finds a bit of space and drains a 3, adds to it. 83-43, a 40-point lead in Tauranga for the Auckland Tuatara.
What a pretty shot. JB getting tangled up. Can he get another? Oh.
Foul committed by Jet Thompson. A little over-eager to put pressure on Dylan Wilkie.
Tauranga Whai, 6 points. Have a look at this 3-ball by Riley. Comes off that, poised, patient, little step back to his left to create enough space to get that 3-ball down.
Son of former Tall Black Brad Riley, of course. Great New Zealand basketball family. Contributions to our league span generations. Thompson almost affecting the turnover, but it stays in the possession of the Tuatara.
Jet Thompson has made the most Rapid League appearances of anyone in our league.
Free ball. Oh, it goes again. That time it's Josh Dilling. He's up to 19 points to go with his 5 assists. And we have doubled the score now. The Tuatara 86, the 5 43.
Tough shot for Hopoi, can't get it to go, and the Tuatara once again outrunning.
Dilling feeling it, puts up another one. That one's off. Tata with the board. Out of bounds off Keani Sexton's outstretched fingers.
The Whai trying to get through their sets, because that's another piece of this game. We've spoken about the points differential. So the longer you can take on the offensive end of getting through your stuff, winding that time down, the more time you take away from the Tuatara, stepping into threes like this one right here. Dilling up to 16 points in this matchup.
Thank you guys for your support for helping fight basketball.
86-43. You read that right, and if you are joining us late, there is a reason for it. This Whai side heavily undermanned. By heavily we mean to the tune of about 400 NZNBL appearances. Tane Murray, Ruben Tarangi, Jordan Ngatai, all out on Tall Black's duty. Nick Stoddard, the point guard import, out with a calf injury.
You know, you've worked in these leagues and been around these leagues for a long time. How much does the recruiting, that thought process go into, you know, recruiting Tall Blacks, knowing that they're going to leave? Do you think that would have played a part?
Yeah, I think it certainly does. A little less so nowadays because of the way the windows work. You do lose them for a weekend, and it can depend on the year. If it's an Olympic qualification year, you might lose them for 6 weeks, and it really does play into it. And seemingly this Tuatara team have recruited knowing that they're unlikely to lose anyone for the Tall Blacks window. I guess Tom Vodanovic, I'm unsure of his personal availability with the Tall Blacks right now, but always a chance to be selected if available. Oh! Bairstow just can't get the dunk to go. Met at the rim, potentially. Or it came off the rim. And Rob Lowe, of course, retired from international basketball after a stellar career. Oh, Tata misses the alley-oop dunk at the other end. So a bit of action above the rim at both sides of the court, neither resulting in points. Ironically, if the Tuatara have recruited with that in mind, which I'm not sure if they have or not, it wouldn't matter so much for them this year, the way they've been dominating anyway.
No, I mean, they're so deep and have brought in some really good imports who fit this system and fit their roles. But you're right, a lot of these guys are up at that caliber of player, not to mention Isaac Davidson, who's also had a stint with the Tall Blacks. JB, another one that's on the radar on New Zealand depth charts, more on the 3-on-3 side though.
He's played Tall Blacks in the past. You've got to look at Zach Riley as well, you know, in a different window where different guys are unavailable. Every chance he could put the black singlet on.
I think our men's game is just in such a good place when you have a look at the depth, the availability all around the world. Cole Hopoi, too long, but gets it back.
On top of that, we've got this conveyor belt now of players going to America for college and then popping out the other side after 3, 4, 5 years. Infinitely better than they were than when they left. So you look for future Tall Blacks. You can pick the whole squad out of the States and some going forward.
Right, not to mention everyone that, you know, is just going straight into the pro scene, and the success we're having over in the States. Oscar Goodman to drop in a name with Michigan winning a national championship.
That whole crew who made it to the semi-finals of the under-17s champion. Most of them are overseas now or on their way. Jackson Ball, Hayden Jones, both over at Wisconsin. Oscar Goodman at Michigan. That's an exciting generation coming through.
Matty Dalton, who'll be on his way to the States very soon as well. Great skip pass by Riley.
Great contest from Saxon as the third quarter comes to an end. And it was a 32-8 third quarter in favour of the Tuatara. If you take the Whai score and times it by 2, you get the Tuatara score. That's where we're at now. And there's 10 minutes to go in this one. Takes me back to that Simpsons meme. They'll make it stop. Make it stop. They're already dead. But we've got 10 minutes to go in this one. If you're still with us, we're sure you are. If you're a Tuatara fan, you lead 90-45. We'll be back after the break with the fourth quarter. Welcome back, fourth quarter about to get underway. Between the Whai and the Tuatara from the QEYC and Tauranga. And a hearty, faithful crowd remaining in this fourth quarter. This undermanned Whai team are up against it, against the ladder-leading Tuatara from Tamaki Makaurau. If you are a Whai fan, maybe a Tauranga expat who lives elsewhere in the country now, and you want to make yourself feel a bit better, how about a large 5-Burris pizza from Sal's? Sal's Flash 26 is the code. Zenzek Risotto just can't get the tip in to go.
Shout out to Chemist Warehouse, the official stats provider. Oh, wow.
Almost a beautiful move there. The pass, though, snuffed out by Matthew Way. Present, this time from the three-point line.
Hey, you asked for a 3 earlier in this one.
His first attempt from beyond the arc, JB. He's up to 14 points, 7 from 18. Almost all of that 18. Barring that one, I'd say, Crystal, has been a little floater from within the key or a pull-up from within the key.
Yeah, so good around that mid-range zone. It was really hot early, but struggled through that middle patch. Davidson finding space.
Well, that's the shot we've seen from Bazant a lot. Davidson makes it count for the Tuatara.
You were harping on about it earlier, but the bench points for the Whai, only one coming by way of Josh Kelly.
What are we at for the Tuatara?
Bench points, 34.
Almost scored more points than the entire Whai roster. Oh, Kiari Saxon. Beautiful turnaround jumper, banks it in. Been out there with 4 fouls for a while.
He's done a great
make every
job.
minute count.
Sorry to cut you off. He's done a great job of staying out on the floor, especially against these physical Tuatara bigs.
Low looking inside. And the foul is called on Saxon. And we may have cursed him there because that'll be the end of his night. And that wasn't even a Tuatara big he was dealing with. And he'll make his way to the bench. Fouled out with 5 fouls.
Well, got just under 15 minutes of play, so we have a look at that beautiful turnaround, fake middle, shimmy back to the base.
It's Cole Hopoi who will replace him. Davidson again from the mid-range. Again, he gets it to go. This time he's fouled. Masters thinks he kicked out. Daniel Cooch says, no, I don't think so. So Davidson will go to the line for one more.
Just such a pure shot. Anytime he gets it, looks like it comes off perfectly. Have a look at this. Gets that left foot down, right up on the money. Davidson.
I don't think he did intentionally kick out, but Masters potentially does have a shout there. Oh, he chases his own rebound. And what a fight to Bobby Lowe, who finishes it off.
Yeah, and those are the ones you're annoyed about if you're Matt Lacey. Just those effort, the hustle plays, the basics. Box out. Don't give them a second chance look. Davidson making them pay.
And there's a timeout from Matt Lacey.
Another look at it. The fight didn't even have anyone in, boxing that shooter out. Davidson recognized it. Maybe he missed that one on purpose.
Rob Lowe's line. I know he hasn't had to be a big scoring threat today, so just the 4 points, but 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and just 17 minutes of action. The guy is an absolute stud in this league.
7 assists for a big man is just absurd. Like I said, I feel like he has an advantage being able to see over everyone. Wish I had that.
The assist count is 30-6. In favour of the Tuatara, if you're wondering. Just 5 turnovers from the fight. 7 for the Tuatara.
Hey, small wins. Let's point them out for our 5 fans at home.
But on top of that, just being so undermanned and having to take on the team that's leading the ladder, you bumped into a buzzsaw of an afternoon for the Tuatara as well, who are shooting 52% from beyond the arc, 70% from the field in general. Guys like Tom Vodanovic, who haven't missed yet, coming off the bench. This hot boy puts up a 3. He gets it to go.
Now, one thing the Fight do have going, especially with so many young players, the local core that's still at high school, you know, normally in a season when you have a team that's asked to step up, they're not used to playing these types of minutes. You know, your body's not adjusted to this type of game, but because they're still at high school, because they're getting those 40-point or 40-minute types of games, you know, you'd think they'd be a little bit more used to it. So that's a plus of having this young local core.
Well, we go back however many years ago to pre-Rapid League, and imagine this matchup. At least you've got these guys who get to play Rapid League and get minutes under their belt and wear the jersey and play in front of people and play on TV and get used to all that, less daunted than otherwise they would have been pulled straight out of high school, straight into this.
Right, big moment. But you're right, that Rapid League really is a great adjustment or stepping stone to come into the Sal's NBL.
Here's Wade, thought about the 3 late, finds Bazant, ends up the Masters, doesn't often think twice. Puts it up. Good rebound from Kelly. In there among Lowe and Johnson. Comes to set the screen, does Kelly. Masters again puts the 3 up. High off the back iron. Johnson just almost shrugs Kelly out the way and brings in the board. Says, my turn.
Like the shooting confidence from Masters, though. Shoots at over 50%. So if you miss one, you're thinking the next one is going down. And Chris Johnson, just too big, too strong, too experienced. Down low.
He is strong and long. As Bazant takes the seat for the Fight. Jet Thompson back into the game. CJ at the line. Up to 11 points now to go with a couple of rebounds, 3 assists.
Going back to Matt Lacey's pre-game interview and how he spoke about, you know, being without some of those key guys today, but they've invested in their pathways, these younger, this younger core through their academies, and that's such a good plus, I think, of some franchises You know, the Rams, for example, to name another. Just being really familiar, not just with the players, but the players with the coaches.
Yeah, well, all those South Island teams, of course, with the mainland Eagles. Cooperation between teams. Mainly the Rams and the Giants have shared that academy across boys and girls in South Island. More and more we see it's such a huge part of the FI and their entrance into the league, not only the NBL but also Tuihi, as Johnson turns that shot into an assist and Rob Lowe does the rest.
Did that get listed as a shot?
Wait for the live stats to update there. Johnson will be claiming the assist.
Oh, absolutely.
Hopoi, another three. That one off to the left. It's Tuatara knocking on the door of triple figures with over 5 minutes to go. Tommy V injects himself back into the game. He's got 13 points. He is perfect, 5 for 5 from the field. 2 of those from beyond the arc to go with 4 rebounds and 4 assists. Dalton off the bench for the first time in the second half and getting his first points.
And if you missed the rapidly game, he had one. Absolutely on a heater, wayward pass from Michael Wade down low.
The alley-oop pass just a little too high for Nick Tata. More of a Chris Johnson alley-oop fine than a Nick Tata one. (101-50). Dalton tucks it under his arm, all the way to the hoop. Doesn't get the roll, but he gets the foul, go to the line to shoot 2. Flav will call for the foul. Matt Lacey calls his team into the side. And one thing that's just hit me, Crystal, is how important points difference is going to be come the end of the season for the Tuatara as well, who are under pressure at the top from the Sharks, the Saints, the Rams. You know, they want a home semi, you know, so this win is crucial, and how much they win by is crucial. But for Matt Lacey, he can't just sit back and go, oh well, we've lost this one, let's see what the youngsters can do. You know, they're under pressure as well from the Airs, from the Jets, from even the Giants, and the Hawks have got a chance to get up there. And the points difference is going to be crucial, so a 50, a 60, maybe even a 70-point loss. Not ideal.
No, not at all. And if there's anyone that knows how important it is Matt Lacey. Their team snuck in last year in that 6th spot position, tied with a few other teams. So he'll be, I'm sure, communicating that to his squad and to that guy with the ball right there.
Tata slings it over to Hopoi. Not one of these Tauranga Whai youngsters has disgraced themselves in this afternoon. As Jet Thompson drains the 3 from the corner. And just run into a very strong Tuatara side.
I mean, 1+ is you're not giving an L to a team that's underneath you, if anything.
3 ball doesn't go from Kupala Pose into the Sounds NBL game for the first time this afternoon. And for the first time in 2026. So a cool moment for him.
A little bit closer to home, out of Waikato. Both of his parents played for Church College, won national championships with Church College. Proud basketball family.
Cam Glidden letting the youngsters have a run for the last 3 minutes 20. Pretty confident he's got the win locked up. The 49-point lead.
It would be 5 miracles if the Whai were able to bring this back. Lepo punched up, bucket from the knuckle.
And the first points in the South NBL for Kupala Pope. Pretty cool moment. Trudy Hoiata out there as well. Had a good rapid league game with the former Taranaki Air.
That's right, and Kupala Pope's first points this season. Remember last year was with the
season, yes.
Indian Panthers and popped off. Actually versed the Tuatara where he had 21 points, was 5 from 6 from 3.
The blocks the Panthers out from my collective consciousness as Bazant puts up a 3-ball. Thompson with the rebound.
I brought my daughter one of those Panthers shirts. Save that for the memes.
Collector's item, that will be. Hoyata with a rebound. Props to the MC out there, you know, still trying to get the energy going in the building. There's still a good crowd there in Tauranga on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, fired up. One of the best sayings around the league.
What a good matchup coming your way after this one. With the Wellington Saints and the Otago Nuggets doing battle in Dunedin. That is 5v4 on the ladder. The Nuggets in 5th, the Saints in 4th. There's a little bit of daylight between them. 10 wins for the Saints, 7 for the Nuggets, but still, the Nuggets will be looking at this game and going, it's a chance for us to sneak a little bit away from the Phi as well. Assuming the Phi don't come back. It's Thompson. We'll go all the way down the lane. Ledger comes in with a big bullying rebound.
Not that the Tuatara would be scared of anyone, as we see Lepo absorbing contact, can't get it to go. You know, the Phi, it would be a great time to get the Phi on your schedule this week. Another team that I'm looking at would potentially be a good get is the Rams with Taylor Brett out. It's all about timing. You know, I'm sure they thought about that coming into this season.
It's always tough to predict. Well, you never know really who the Tall Blacks coaches are going to be after, where they're at in their qualification, how, you know, a window that includes a must-win game is going to be a different selection to, you know, without meaning in disrespect, throwaway games maybe against Guam if you've already qualified, for example. So where the Tall Blacks coaches will look to blood some youngsters, maybe. It's about as strong a Tall Blacks team as I've seen in a pretty while out last night.
Yeah, so good.
Oh, well, there it is, the highlight for the Phi fans. Bazant throws it up to Nick Tata. Finally, an alley-oop pass right in his breadbasket. And he throws it down with 2 hands. Lepo drains the 3. He's making the most of the minutes he's been given by Cam Glidden out there.
Lepo, year 13 at Rosmini. I'm sure Matt Lacey very familiar with his game. Another look. JB up top. Nick Tata throwing it down and getting a seat.
Into the final minute of this one. Here's Bazant. Into Kelly, great find. Oh, Josh Ledger meets him at the rim. Oh, call for a foul. Thought it was a big block-busting block from your cousin there, Crystal. Big smile on his face, though, as he helped Josh Kelly up from the hardwood.
Big smile on mine as well. I thought he got that. Unfortunately, called for the body down low. But that's one thing Josh is always good at, is picking someone up off the ground.
Well, he plays the game the right way. I was lucky enough to spend a good fun year with him down in Nelson when he was with the Giants, and always a big smile on his face. Brings the right attitude to the gym every time he comes. Loves to learn, loves to play hard. He's an asset to every team he's been at. It's good to see him excelling at the Tuatara, and what a place to learn right now with Rob Lowe and Tom Wadanovic and Chris Johnson while he's at the stage of his journey he's at.
Absolutely.
There he is with a beautiful Rob Lowe-esque pass, but Matt Dalton went for the big slam and just couldn't get it to go.
And I look like that, what Tommy V looks like on the bench, holding his head in his hands.
Lepo drops it off to Kelly, and the hand in there. Sorry, I should say Hopboy drops it off to Kelly. A hand in there from Lepo. Jeez, he's in a basketball family. Everywhere we look in the NZNBL, Hopboy and Lepo. up against each other.
And I told you the Daltons feel good down in Tauranga in this gym. Sorry, I still can't get over that dunk attempt, which that one had gone, and Bairstow's definitely would have seen it on the highlight show. Catch it on Tuesdays.
We've had a couple of big dunks just not dropped in this one. I'm really impressed by them. A lot of FI games. So as you had, Crystal, in recent weeks, really impressed with Josh Kelly. Really, the FI in general today is going to be an anomaly with so many players out, and the opposition they're up against as Dalton picks up a 3. The time going down. So a tough afternoon for the FI, but in context, you could see it coming. And an 11-0 lead to start the game was swiftly erased. And it's become a 109-59 victory in favour of those men in teal who lead the ladder, the Auckland Tuatara.
What a day for the Tuatara, and Tom Vodanovic will pick up our MVP pick. He was perfect from the field, and to me did just everything he had to. Chipped away, made the right passes, finished with 13 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a plus-minus of 32. But he was just unstoppable inside, especially through that middle stretch. The second and the third quarters just went to work, making the most of any mismatches he had on the inside and the most out of any space he was given from the 3. 2 from 2 from three-point land. And he just had a game. Easy day in the office for the Tuatara, the way they walked in here and walked out with a W. Dilling was also up there for our MVP race, leading the way with 19 points. Finished with 4 assists, 1 steal, and drew 5 fouls. Didn't give up any. Rob Lowe, 9 rebounds, doing what he does best. Josh Ledger getting in there for 9 as well. Nick Tata leading the way for the FI with 6. But then those assists from Rob Lowe. The big man leading the way, had the vision, dishing out dimes.
The 4 big men, Lowe, Vodanovic, Johnson, Ledger. Shout out Josh Ledger, those 9 rebounds, 3 assists in just 17 minutes of work. And big Bobby Lowe with the block and a steal as well. Well, it's almost a 3.5, a 4-headed monster when you put Josh Ledger in there for those bigs for the Tuatara. There he is, all smiles again with head coach Cam Glidden. Just embraced by Chris Johnson. Good night at the office for the Auckland Tuatara. I think we're going to see a more even affair in the next game coming your way from 7:30 from the Eaton Centre in Dunedin. The Otago Nuggets taking on the Wellington Saints. Then the Giants in action tomorrow. Need a win to keep their season alive. 2 o'clock from the Trafalgar Centre in Whakatu Nelson up against the Franklin Bulls. The Rams as we head into round 14 on Thursday from Parakiore, their beautiful new centre in Otatahi, Christchurch, taking on Taranaki from 6 o'clock on Thursday. And then to the Stockyard we go Friday afternoon. Matariki, of course, the Bulls taking on the Nuggets from Pukekohe. So the basketball rolls on for another 3, 4, 5 weeks at least with the playoffs on the horizon. And the Tuatara stay out ahead in the lead of this one with a big win against an undermanned FI side. It's been our pleasure to bring you this one, 109-59. The win for the Auckland Tuatara on the road from myself, Hugh Bain, and Crystal Ledger-Walker. And all of us at Sky Sport will do it all again next time. Thanks for your company.